Leicester City, a team that once denied all the odds and won the Premier League back in 15-16, and now a decade later, they are fighting relegation and all but confirmed almostly that they will be going down to League One. From Premier League glory to League One within a decade is absolutely abysmal. A 6-point deduction has definitely helped them get down here and further away from championship survival. We are going to jump in here using the live start points on FC26 and rebuild Leicester City all the way from more than likely League One football back up to Premier League glory to win their first Premier League title since the 15-16 seasons when the likes of Jamie Vardy, Riyad Mahrez, and N'Golo Kante. They had some great players in the team, and now, well, they're abysmal. Let's jump in. Let's rebuild Leicester City FC.
A warm welcome to you all. Without further delay, we are pleased to introduce...
And who better than to rebuild Leicester City is the man that's leaving Bournemouth in the summer. He's obviously going somewhere else. Rumors are that he could possibly be going over to Spain with Sevilla or... I think it is Sevilla, and rumors are that he could possibly replace Arteta at Arsenal if they are to fail to win the Premier League, which more than likely is going to happen as well. Obviously, we jump in here now, 21 points. We jump in, not 21 points, we jump in with 47 points here. This is taking away that 6-point deduction, which is kind of weird because maybe I had to reset it up. So I think I'll go back in and reset it up and just give it a 6-point deduction and then go from there. But I can also confirm that they will lose the Premier League, lose the race as well. So yeah, I'll be back here at the start of Season 2 where we will be in League One. And so, coming into Season 2, this is how the team looks like. Storlek in a net. We have Koulibaly and Okalai with Nelson and Thomas as your back four. Skip and Chodhuri as your CDMs. Fatawu, Page, and Mavididi as your midfield three. And Opoku currently as your striker. The chances are we will sell some of these players to Premier League teams and Premier League teams only. Might sell some of them to Championship. But Fatawu, first instance, there's a couple rumors about him possibly leaving the club in the summer to go to Premier League football, and so we'll see if a Premier League team comes in for him. Other than that, we have a couple of players on here. El Kernus we're probably going to have to sell as well. We maybe try and keep hold on to him. Obviously, no Manga, Jeremy Manga. He's not part of the squad because he's not old enough yet, and he doesn't have parent acceptance or whatever to be part of the game. Sound the same thing with Max Dowman. They should be added into FC27. We have 30 million in our budget at the moment. 30 million to get back up to the championship, and that is the aim. We might have to rely on some youth academy players as well, so we might look to build a decent youth academy system as well. But we have 30 million. We have a couple of players not transfer listed, but on our short list that could possibly make a thing there as well. So we'll see what happens, and we will just honestly take it by ear. And so we start here with bringing in a couple of free agents. Only one of them is a youth generated player, and that is being Cabral. All the other ones are generated players here. We bring in Bilal Brahim, who comes into the squad. Brahimi, a right winger that can play 73 overall, but he can play striker, can play on the left as well. We bring in Zeke Carlos as a 72 overall right back. We bring in Josh Da Silva back into the squad. We bring him in as a CDM, and then we bring in Cabral, a 70 overall center back, who honestly his potential was from 71 to 74, so he's not going to grow too much part of the squad, but he's going to definitely be a big help as we try and get back up to the championship for this season. Other than that, we have roughly around 20 million left to go between obviously the wages of these guys and signing 3 youth agents to try and get some youth property in this team as well. So we're going to look to bring in a couple of guys in here, some guys on loan. Other than that, we'll look to see what happens. And kind of the marquee player that we will bring in for this season at least is Mateo Joseph from Leeds United, transfer listed on the game. So you know what, we go scrap him up and sign him up. So welcome towards Leicester City down in League One action. The 75 overall striker is going to be a big help. And to be completely honest, the team that we have now, if we don't lose players, is good enough to get promoted back up to the championship. So we're kind of in a limbo to see whether or not we sell some of these players to be able to bring in other players if we need to, in all honesty. Mateo Joseph, welcome to the club. We definitely needed him though, that's for sure. And the first player we get transferred into leave is to Vestergaard for 990,000 to Sporting over in the second division. I'm gonna be honest, he just isn't a part of my plan anyway, so goodbye to him. Henry Cartwright has been loaned out to Cardiff for the season. We're also going to go ahead and bring in a new left winger in Sancho Vidigal for 3.45 million. It's looking like we might lose Mavididi, so we bring him in and welcome to the squad. And while we're in September now and nobody else has left, we haven't got a transfer offer at all. We got one for not Mavididi, for Fatawu. We accepted it. It was for West Ham, and well, they just, I don't know what happened to wages or something, but it didn't go through. So Fatawu was more likely going to actually still be the left or right winger, I should say here. But other than that, Mateus Jofa, El Canus, they all survive, and so this is your team to hopefully get us back up to the championship. I'll see y'all here midway through the season, if not at least at the end of the season, until I leave. Like, let's get into it. And all is going well here as we currently sit first in the league here. Only a point between us and Bolton, but about 7 or so in between us and Reading, which is obviously automatic promotion, so that is good to see there. Top goal scorer in the league is Mateus Joseph with 13 goals, and right behind him is Fatu with 12 goals. One thing I did forget is about my youth academy, so I'm going to go do that, and then I'll see y'all here at the end of the season. And at the end of the season, with 111 points, we are straight back up to the championship, and we did it with ease. 110 goals scored, only 41 conceded. We are not Premier League bound, we are championship bound now. Rotherham and Peterborough are fighting for that final spot of the championship, of the playoffs for up to the championship. Plymouth can also get there if they win. If Plymouth win and Peterborough and Rotherham both draw that game, then it will be Plymouth. Oxford is waiting for all three of them to actually, no, Oxford not waiting for them to lose. Oxford is waiting for Plymouth to lose, and then Peterborough to draw as well. A draw there would put them up to 73. Goal difference would still be 11. So yeah, they're waiting for a draw in that game. They are shimmering. There's a world in which both Stockport and Oxford United don't even reach the playoff if Plymouth and either one of these two teams win that game. So we don't really care about that. What we do care about is who scored across those 110 goals. 37 for Mateo Joseph, 28 for Fatu. I still don't understand how he didn't have a transfer offer. Same for El Canus. I don't understand how he didn't have a transfer offer, but he didn't. And well, now transfers are definitely coming in for him as we get into season 3 for our championship. As far as our youth academy, we're going to promote anyone here that is over the age of 16, but we have a couple of decent players. Preston was kind of the best one at the time, but now it's looking like Cunningham could be the option there. So we're going to promote all these guys and loan them out next season, and we will go again. And coming into the championship, we have how do we have less money coming into the championship than we did going down to League One? I don't know, but we have 26 million to improve on this team. Improvements on this team would essentially kind of rely once again on players leaving, but we definitely could improve on goalkeeper nonetheless. So goalkeeper department could definitely be improved on. The back line could be improved on as well. Left back, another center back. Faust maybe replacing Skip. Maybe finding a replacement for Fatu if another comes in for him. Again, Premier League comes in for these players. We're going to have to kind of realistically sell them. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see what goes on. We'll see what kind of youth players we can get in, and then we'll see what kind of youth players we have, and we'll loan those guys out as well. And the first signing we bring in is someone that, age-wise, I'm trying to stay away from, but his experience in his veteran room can definitely play a part into the squad here. We are going to go ahead and bring in Chelsea center back here who was transfer listed, Axel Diassi. He comes in for $9 million. He's going to be good enough for a couple years and hopefully try to get us up into the Premier League. Welcome to Leicester City. And we sign one older center back to bring in another younger center back that will definitely be part of our squad for more than likely a long time. It is a youth generated player. We say hello to Lewis Bogart. He comes in at 77 overall from the free agents. Welcome to the squad. And we're going to bring in Bayer Leverkusen youngster in Mensa. He's going to come into the squad, but we're going to look to instantly loan him out to hopefully develop him over the course of the season. But he comes in for just under $3 million. Goodbye to him. And we say hello to Renato Marin. He comes in on loan from PSG, our goalkeeper, hopefully for a long time. Let's get into it. And Christian Norgard is coming in on loan from Arsenal as well. The old CDM, 80 overall. He might be 33 years old, but he's definitely going to help us out here in the championship. Welcome to the squad. Alves, $2.95 million for Sheffield United. And halfway through this second season here, back in the championship, we are sitting 1 point behind the playoff position of Hull City. We are sitting 6 points behind Southampton. We are 7 points behind the top 2, which will be automatic promotion as well. I will see you all here at the end of the season. And 46 games gone, we are in the playoff position here. This does not mean or guarantee promotion. We have to fight it out here. First, wait, Coventry City, I believe, yes, I'm pretty sure it's 4th versus 5th, yes. So we are taking in Coventry City in the playoffs here. We will go, oh my God, it's not until late May. We will go over and see who comes on top. First leg here against Coventry City is a 1-1 draw. So a 1-1 draw there, which means the second leg here at the Leicester City Stadium, King Power Stadium, I'm pretty sure, right? 3-3 draw. Who goes on penalties, though, is the question, and it is us. We go through on penalties, a 4-3 penalty shootout, which means the final we will be taking on someone in the final of the championship. Who will that be? Sheffield United for a chance to get up into the Premier League. Leicester City for Sheffield United at Wembley. Who will be going up to the Premier League? It doesn't look like it's us because they have a hit in the ground and it's not us. Leicester City will be spending another season in the championship. And coming into season 4, we had roughly around 40 million, but I just didn't unmute my mic, so all the stuff I did in this winter, or in a window already, was muted. But we did go ahead and bring in a couple of additions into the squad, starting with Gosselin at striker, the 18-year-old. He comes in to be a backup for Joseph, also compete for that starting spot there. He comes in for free. We go ahead and bring in Engels into the squad for roughly 25 million or so, like something like that. And then we also bring in Ibolo on loan here, 81 overall goalkeeper after losing Marin. Obviously, he went back to PSG after his parent spell, and now he comes in. And we also bring in Ruggiero. I was trying to stay away from high overall youth academy players, but this one you just couldn't pass up on. 18 years old, 84 overall, could play right back, center back, right mid, and even center mid. And so that is your squad to hopefully get us back up to the championship, back up to the Premier League automatically here. Hopefully not having to go through playoffs or anything like that. I'm going to sign some contract deals, and then I'll see y'all more likely at the end of the season. And Leicester City, by just 3 points, are promoted back up to the Premier League automatically. We do not have to go through the playoffs. Nottingham Forest goes up with 117 points. West Ham missed out on automatic promotion with 99 points. So do Wolves with 96. That is insane. And a cap off from there to 6th place Stoke City. 76 points there is enough to make the playoffs there. Going down, Wrexham are going down. They say goodbye to the championship. Portsmouth are going down. They can't get out with that one game left to go. And then Bolton are down as well. Top goal scorer of the league, I can only assume. Oh my God, it's Ansu Fati at Southampton. I was gonna say I can only assume it's the Nottingham Forest player, but no, it's them. And Mateo Joseph also has 24 goals as well. A great season for Mateus Joseph as we are now back up into the Premier League. We have Mateus Joseph on 28, Engels on 21, Vidigal on 15, Fatu on 14, El Carnus on 12 goals as well. As far as our loanees, we had a couple players actually climb up in ranking as well, and we are going to have to say goodbye to Polo, but I think he might be our first signing of the summer window. And in our Premier League season, we have 78 million to spend. And looking at our squad for Premier League survival, we quite clearly need to bring in a goalkeeper because we have none at the moment because Polo is back at his parent club in Nice. So we're going to do that. De Silva, it might be his time to go. Vidigal, it might be his time to go. Christensen, it might be their time to go as well. And possibly even Diassi we could look to improve on as well. Our aim this season is mid-table to top half of the table here. We don't really want to be fighting relegation at all, and well, we have the money to do so. And the question is, do we bring in Ipolo, or do we just bring in Kamil Blaszczak, who is 82 overall? Save a couple pennies. And so we go ahead and bring in free agent Kamil Blaszczak. He comes into the squad as our new #1 goalkeeper. We also bring in free agents Jesus Jimenez and Mr. Gerber. They all come into the squad to be part of this squad depth as well, which means we still have 78 million to spend on actual players. I just totally didn't comment, but Mikel Merino comes into the squad as well. We bring him in for 18.5 million. Now we get him because he's a little bit cheaper. Instead of going for somebody a little bit older, he will allow us to go for someone else as well. So we say hello to him. Welcome to the squad. Now, pretty much all of our budget, not all of it, but we have around 15 or so million left to go, but that's not going to be able to bring in enough good a player to bring into the squad, so we're kind of just stuck here. This is the last signing we make. Leo Sauer joins the squad from Levante here on this save, and he's going to come in, and he's going to be our new #1 right wing, so we say hello to him. Welcome to the squad. And let's hopefully you can bag some goals for us to keep us up in the Premier League. And later down the line, obviously compete in European football as well. Welcome to the squad. And so this is your team. It doesn't really change too much besides Mikel Merino, Blaszczak, and Leo Sauer. Other than that, our bench definitely is going to need our work in the future. But we're hoping this front 11 can carry us up enough into a decent position that will give us a great chunk of money coming in for next season. I will see y'all in January where hopefully we are nowhere near the relegation zone. January 1st comes around and the boys are sitting in 14th with 19 points. That might be a record low for sitting in 14th. We are 7 points clear off of Sunderland, who sit in that relegation spot. Southampton and Norwich are both struggling, and although it's not confirmed that they'll be going down, it's looking more than likely because they can't even get a single win there. They both only have one win. We're struggling a little bit here on the defensive side, conceding 36 goals, but I still have it in us that we will be able to survive. So I'll see y'all at the end of the season, where hopefully we can maybe get up towards 10th, maybe 11th, maybe 9th. That'd be ideal. I'll see y'all there. I'm going to do contracts, and then I'll see y'all at the end of the season. And up into 12th, they actually are managed to do. They finished 12th in the league in our first season. If there was 39 games, we might even had a kind of perfect even record there of 13-13-13. But 13 wins, 12 draws, 13 losses. A bunch of goals scored, and we actually turned around the goal difference as well. We went on a goal scoring spree, it seems like, from -8 to +2 from just 20 games in the season. Getting relegated, it'll be Norwich, Burnley, and Southampton. Sunderland are able to survive. Austin Villa all the way down to 16th is interesting to see. Man United finishing 7th, Chelsea in 6th, Arsenal in 5th, Newcastle, Brighton, Liverpool as your front 3, and then obviously Manchester City win the league. Top goal scorer, do we have anybody even remotely close? The answer is yes, obviously Mateo Joseph. He had 16 goals. He's within the top 6 or so goal scorers. So that is good to see. On to season 6, where hopefully we can get some decent amount of money to make some improvements and probably bring even more free agents into the squad, in all honesty. fresh into a new season. 45 million. I mean, it's a decent amount, but that does mean more than likely we are going to look at free agents this summer window, as we technically need to improve on. I want to bring in a new left back for sure. Hopefully that might be where most of our money goes into. Mikel Merino is down to 79 overall as well. We're going to have to look to replace him. Mensah could definitely play there, but I don't think he is ready enough for that. And then obviously we have players like Zerba who can come in for Diassi. Blasik is obviously going to stay as our number one. Joseph is up to 89 overall. He is growing insanely high at this point, which is insane to see. And then we also have Christensen, who's there. In fact, Joseph actually grown, what is that, plus 14 in the last 2 seasons? Because when I brought in Gosselin, he was 76, and Joseph was like 78, 79. So yeah, he's grown massive amounts there. So yeah, we'll keep on going, and we'll keep on looking for options and see who these better players are that we can bring into the squad. And the only free agent that's worthy enough to bring into the squad, especially for first team football at least, is going to be Dohu, a center back. He's going to come into the squad. Omar Dohu, welcome to the squad. 80 overall. He's not moving the needle too much in all honesty, but he's a good addition to have for free, so why not? And we're going to go ahead and bring in a left back over here from the French leagues. We're bringing him in for 33, 34 million, something like that. Pretty much all over our budget once again. And we're just going to look for free agents for backup players in all honesty. And so we say hello to De Bruyne. He comes in at left back. Welcome into the squad. And that is our defense hopefully sorted at least for a little bit. And it's De Bruyne, not Dubruyne, but whatever. It is what it is. And here are the 3 free agents that we are going to go ahead and bring into the squad to add some more squad depth. And a season I was not expecting at all. We finished 5th in the Premier League. We were just 2 points off, and really 5 goals as well, off of sitting in the top 4 and nearly getting Champions League football. However, top 5 is still European football. We get the Europa League here. For this next season, these boys have absolutely grinded. Joseph, 21 goals. I think that might be his like 6th or 7th season with over 15 goals every single season. I think he's had over 15 goals ever since we signed him in season 2 or 3. 24 goals across all competitions. 19 for Leo Sauer, 15 for Fatuil. The boys are grinding. The boys are flying. And if we don't get money for next season, I don't know what will get us money. Let's get into that new season. Our first European season. Maybe European glory in the first season. That would be great. We get 115 million for us being in the European competition for this season. We can definitely improve on this team. We do need another center mid. Merino, his time at the club is over. In fact, Mensah takes over his spot there. I would love to bring in another 1 to possibly 2 center backs as well. And then other than that, it is bench for sure. Now, we definitely did not need this guy because we already have a good enough goalkeeper. But this guy is better technically. And if we can strengthen our side while not allowing other sides to strengthen them, we will take it. So Alejandro Caberes comes into the squad, 86 overall goalkeeper from the free agents. Welcome in. And we also go ahead and bring in Ian Santiago. He is a 83 overall center back coming into the squad. Welcome in to Leicester City. You'll definitely be part of the first team. Now let's go sign some real players. And we are going to go ahead and bring in another center back. One that I was looking at to bring in season 3, but we just couldn't afford it with the money we had. So Dominic Prepek is then coming to the squad now a couple years later and a little bit more developed and a little bit more ready for first team football. He is going to join Santiago as your 2 center backs now in the starting lineup. So welcome to him. Now let's bring in a midfielder and maybe some more additions to our bench to improve on that as well. Welcome to the squad. Welcome to Leicester City for just under 35 million, 37 million, something like that. And this is a budget breaker. I didn't realize that we didn't have that much money, and 2 players is all that we could sign, but it's good enough. Archie Gray comes into the squad. He's going to be part of our new midfield alongside Engels, so we say hello to him. Welcome to the squad, and that's our squad done. And now we go look to see who we have in the Europa League, and we'll go from there. And so this is your team. Cabazas gets the start in net. Ruggiero, Pripek, Santiago, and De Bruyne as your back four. Engels, Archie Gray, and El Canus as your midfield trio with Sauer, Joseph up to 91 overall, and Fatu as your right winger. Let's go see who we have in the Europa League. I'm going to need to sign contracts because we have a couple of players leaving in the summer. We have a bunch of players leaving in the summer, especially like players like Mateus Joseph. I might have to sell some of these youth players in here to bring in some money. In all honesty, that might just have to be something we do. Where is calendar? Calendar's right there. Let's go see who we have in the Europa League. And well, we're winless in our first 3 games this season, including a 3-0 loss to Tottenham, and then back-to-back draws against Brentford and Crystal Palace. But our Europa League opponents, we have Chelsea in the Carabao Cup round 3 as well. Round 2, I should say. Not FA Cup, the Europa League. I'll get there eventually. We start off here against Racal, and then we have teams like AS Monaco. We have FCSV. We have, is that Michelin? It is Michelin. Wow, that's ball knowledge. Fenerbahce. Then in December we have Karabakh, and then in January we close it off against Union St. G and Athletic Club Bilbao. I'm gonna go sell a youth academy player. Hopefully get some money in our budget and bring in. And not just bring in, but just be able to re-sign some of these players in here because we need to. February 1st, and we have a cup game here against Lincoln, which means we made it to round 4 of the FA Cup. That's good news. I don't see a February matchup for the Europa League, so that's either really good news or really bad news. And then obviously in the league, I don't know how that is going. 12th in the league is honestly not that good compared to what we were doing there. 8 points behind Arsenal, 9 points behind Brighton. Europa League, we finished top of the Europa League, so that is really good news that we did not see a Europa League match up there. It might be Europa League, it might be our only pathway to the Champions League this season, so I will see y'all at the end of the season, but I will come in as we have Europa League matchups there and just come over. I'm not going to stop and do it every single time. I'll just come over it when it pops up. Hopefully we get all the way to the final. I haven't commentated it at all. I said I was going to commentate it, and I just didn't commentate it at all. So I'm just going to stop here after the first leg against Fenerbahce, in which we lost 2-1. But as far as the actual first round goes, the round of 16, we took on Athletic Club Bilbao, in which we lost the first leg 2-1, and then we won the second leg 2-1. So is that not just 3-3 on aggregate? And I'm assuming we won on penalties there. I'm gonna have to go fact check that because I didn't commentate it at all there. And yes, we did win on penalties there. You see 4-3 on penalties. So hopefully we can do the same here against Fenerbahce and beat them. We lost the league. We lost the quarterfinals first leg there. How are we doing in the Premier League? Have we made any improvements? Yes and oh no, not really. We're 10 points behind 6 now as well, so not really improving. So it's Europa League or nothing for us this season. So I will see y'all at the end of the season this time again. And so second leg as we win against Fulham 2-1 there. We lost the first leg 2-1. We win the second leg 3-0 if that is correct. It is correct. A 4-2 win on aggregate. We're into the semifinals of the Europa League. Europa League here, semifinal against Strasbourg. The first leg up, it's a 2-0 loss. And we might be out of the Europa League. We lose to Aston Villa on the weekend, and we're right out of the Europa League here as well. We are not out. A 3-0, back-to-back 3-0 wins. In the second leg, we are in the Europa League final. We lose to Manchester United 3-1. We just beat... What? That doesn't make sense at all. I hate this game sometimes. The logic on this game is actually clueless sometimes. Newcastle United win the FA Cup. We haven't won a game in the Premier League in like the last 4 or 5. It's Europa League final, and then we lose that to Chelsea, unfortunately. And so we might have got to the final, but we won't win it, and we're not in any European competition next season at all either. So this is a wipe away of a season. We finished 11th in the Premier League. 11th in the Premier League. Wanderson Payeta is going to come into the squad here at the start of season number, whatever season this is. It's Champions League or bust. I do know that. We have one of two amazing free agents that can come to the squad here. 90 overall sitting on the free agents. We say hello to you, Wanderson Payeta. Welcome to the squad for free. He's one of two. The other one is 92 overall that we're bringing in. And in fact, he's not even 92. He is 93. His name is Dennis Robin, center back, 93 overall at 22 years of age, just sitting on the free agents coming into the squad here now for today. He must I don't know what happened to him, but something must have happened because this guy was not in the free agents at all last season. He's on 200. He wants 290K a week. I'm honestly going to give it to you because I'm not going to sign anyone in this season anyway. It's these two guys. There's a goalkeeper that's 87 overall. I'm not going to bring in a third goalkeeper. But Dennis Robin is going to come into the squad. Welcome into the squad as well. I said if we don't get Champions League football, it's a bust, and well, bust it's not. Leicester City are your Premier League champions for the first time since 15-16. I could count this rebuild as a success because that was the aim, was to win the Premier League and obviously Champions League. But we win the Premier League now with 77 points. Mateus Joseph top goal scorer? No, it's actually Abdul Fatu who is our top. No, it's not. It's actually Leo Sauer who's our club top goal scorer. But we have Edric and Rio Njamoa who's the league's top goal scorer there. Mateus Joseph not far behind. Another 15-plus goal season for him as well. But we end the season as your Premier League champions. On to whatever the next season is. And that one is Champions League glory or bust. It's kind of at the point to where I don't really know what to improve on this team. The only improvement angle I could see is maybe El Canus because he's 90 overall. The other angle is Santiago because he's 84 overall, and we have, well, Robin. Ruggerio's been here since like season 2 or 3. De Bruyne, we could look to improve, but he's 22. He definitely is going to grow there as well. I don't really know what to improve on. Our bench is kind of all over the place in all honesty. Our bench really is quite literally all over the place. We brought in Yurtsinger as well last season, and well, he's been sitting on the reserves for however long. I don't really know what to do with this team. It's just kind of getting it over the line there. If there's another insane center back that we could bring in, then sure. We have 152 million to do so. We'll see what's out there. We'll keep bringing in these free agents as well just to keep on having squad depth and the likes of that. But other than that, I don't really know what else to do. Now, I have two options to really bring into the squad here, and theoretically, maybe both could work out here, but we have Chekamane, who is a 92 overall right back at Manchester United, and then we have Pau Kubarsi, who is over at Newcastle United. Both will improve our team immensely. Do we go for 92 overall, or do we go for Pau Kubarsi? Or do we try and go for both? I think we can try and go for both. I think we can do both, and so we will try to do both. We might be able to bring in both. We might be able to bring in both here. We're about to only spend 25 million on Chekamane here to the squad. We're gonna offload Ruggiero, who's obviously been in our squad for quite a while, and he is a decent player. He's at 87 overall, so he's obviously good enough, but Chekamane is 92 overall, and so we'll bring him in, and then that'll be great there. And then we can also bring in Pau Kubarsi as well, and at least have a real-life player still within our squad and not completely taken over by the youth academy. So we say hello to Chekamane for 25 million plus Ruggiero. Say goodbye to him and thank you for your service, for your long-time service at the club. And now we have a brand new right back, and we have two of our back four as 90 plus overalls. And we are able to bring in both of them. Pau Kubarsi joins the squad for straight money. 90 million flat Pau Kubarsi joins for. We say hello to him, and he is going to replace Santiago in that starting lineup. And this should be a Champions League winning squad. And so our Champions League opponents have been drawn, and here we are taking on, we started off against Atletico Madrid, and then we have RC Lens. We have a French side. We are taking on, is that Basel? Yes, it is Basel. We have FC Porto. We have Inter Milan. This is a very tough your Champions League fixtures so far. We have Bonn Glimt, and then in January we close it off against Norjal, and then Bayern Munich. That is a very, very tough Champions League group. I can only expect that it will be playoff football for us as our best. But if we can get top 8, that is a great result for Champions League qualification. I will see y'all on February 1st, where hopefully we're doing good in the Premier League and we're doing good in the Champions League. And February 1st comes around, and well, we are sitting in a Champions League playoff spot there. You can see it there. We have Champions League playoff against Bayer Leverkusen, which is something I did expect. Something I did not expect is for us to be back to the top of the Premier League table so far. Only 2 losses in the season, a 4-point gap there. But in the Champions League, where did we actually finish? We finished 10th. We were simply out on the top 8 by goal difference. That is a phenomenal result. Inter Milan, who did not lose a game, are in the playoffs as well. I will absolutely take that. It is now Champions League, though, playoffs against Bayer Leverkusen. So hopefully we can get through. What is the schedule? Bayer Leverkusen, Chelsea, Bayer Leverkusen, Man City. We're out of the FA Cup early, though. We lost to the FA Cup. We are we're in the Carabao Cup final. We are in the Carabao Cup final as well. We did lose to Watford in the FA Cup, which is interesting enough. But we are in the Carabao Cup final. At least we should be. And so the first leg here against Bayer Leverkusen in Germany. We get man of the match, which is a good sign. A 2-1 win. Leo Sauer picked up man of the match. Can we pick up 3 points here against Chelsea? The answer is yes. We pick up 3 points by scoring 3 goals. And now second leg here against Bayer Leverkusen. A 2-2 draw, which means a 4-3 win. If that is accurate, it is 4-3 win. We are into the round of 16 of the Champions League. And so in the round of 16 here, Feyenoord get Man United, Salzburg, Lens, Frankfurt, Arsenal, Atletico Madrid versus Liverpool, Ajax versus Lille, Leicester City versus Barcelona, Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich, Juventus versus PSG. We get Barcelona in the Champions League round of 16. And so here is how that is going to play out here. Leicester City versus Barcelona, first leg at home. It's a 1-1 draw. I will take that, in all honesty. I really would. Premier League, a 2-2 draw against Sevilla. Second leg here against Barcelona at Camp Nou. I'm assuming it's going to be a Barcelona win. No, it's not. It's a Leicester City 1-0 win on the day and a 2-1 win on aggregate. We knock off a huge European side, and we're into the quarterfinals of the Champions League. And now we have the Carabao Cup final here against Fulham, which we will be taking on here at Wembley for our first trophy. Actually, no, our second trophy of the season. And we can't. Fulham win 2-0. Interesting enough. Quarterfinal matchups here around 16. I'll just quickly go through and say who went through. Man United, Lens, Arsenal, Liverpool, Ajax, us, Real Madrid, and PSG. So your quarterfinal matchups are this: Liverpool versus Arsenal, PSG versus Real Madrid, Ajax versus Leicester City, and then Man United get Lens. So we get Ajax in the Champions League quarterfinals here. A trip to the semifinal is on the line here. The first leg up here against Ajax away in the Dutchland. It's a 3-0 win for us, and that should put us into the semifinals of the Champions League here, as we also take down Everton with a 3-0 win there as well. Leicester City versus Ajax, just don't bottle it. I think we win 3-1 on the day. We do 6-1 on aggregate and into the semifinals with ease. And so the teams to go through the quarterfinals are Arsenal taking down Liverpool, PSG take down Real Madrid, we take down Ajax, and Lens wins on penalties against Manchester United, 5-5 on aggregate, 8-7 on a penalty shootout. And we get the fortune of taking on Lens here in the semifinals, which is PSG and Arsenal in the semifinals, a repeat of last season's IRL Champions League semifinals when PSG won that and took down Arsenal. It could be the Champions League final in real life this season as well, but we are taking on RC Lens here, so we get definitely the easier of the 3 teams that are left that are not us in here. And so Champions League semifinals here against RC Lens is up first, and the first leg is here over in France, and it's gonna be a 3-2 win, so a very tight game. But we edge it going back over to England. As honestly, as I'm sitting through here, it's looking more and more likely that we are going to win back-to-back Premier Leagues as well. Second leg here, a 1-0 win on the day, is it? Yes, it is. A 1-0 win on the day, 4-2 win on aggregate. We are into the Champions League final where we'll be taking on either PSG or Arsenal. And other than that, oh my God, we have ran away with the Premier League. We are back-to-back Premier League champions. Do I show y'all lifting the trophy? I might show lifting the trophy because why not? And then we'll we'll watch the Champions League final. So let's go lift that Premier League trophy, and then let's go watch the Champions League final. And there it is for the first time. Really the second time in this set, but for the first time since 2015-2016, Leicester City are back on the top of the Premier League pyramid here, back on top of England, your Premier League champions, and now they have a Champions League final with the team they bested back in 2015-2016 in the Premier League, Arsenal. It's an all-English Champions League battle. Bayern Munich Arena, the Arena of München here into the conflicted Champions League final, because obviously, part of me wants Leicester City to win this Champions League final because of the team I'm rebuilding. So the whole idea of this rebuild is to get Leicester back on top of Premier League, but also to get them the Champions League trophy. But part of me, the Arsenal fan in me, wants Arsenal to win a Champions League final because, well, we're never going to win it in real life, are we? But it's a Champions League final here. It's an all-English battle. It's your 2015-2016 top two Premier League teams as well. It's Arsenal who's finished second now, probably for the next 4 seasons in a row here. If they can't get it out against Man City this season, it's Leicester City versus the Arsenal in the Champions League final. Victor Yekudis still at the club. Martinelli still at the club. Declan Rice still at the club. I think I just seen Zubimendi still there as well. I don't see Bukayo Saka in that lineup. Never mind, I do see him there. He's the captain. He's at the top. Saliba is there. Mosquera is there. I don't know who number 6 is. That looks like Dean Huijsen for whatever reason. That could be Dean Huijsen. Number 21, Nuno Mendes. He's been there for a while now at the club. I think he's been there since like the 3rd season of this rebuild. And so let's jump into it here. Is that Curtis Jones or Zaire Emery at 19? I'm not quite sure, but it's someone. I think that's Zaire Emery. Let's jump into the game here. It's Champions League final here in Germany. Arsenal versus Leicester City. El Khanous into Abdul Fatawu into Leicester City originals trying to link up together there, but off target from their very early start here. Well, we kind of have them stuck in the back there, but as soon as I start talking, they're able to maybe get it away and out of pressure, but they're kind of resulting to going back there. Now the outlet to Bukayo Saka, that'll be not intercepted, but Yekudis will get fouled off the ball by Kubarsi, but we play on Leo Sau now, player of the season in the Premier League. Engels wins the ball. El Khanous now out wide for Leo. Engels intercepted, bad passing play already this early on. Don't like to see it, but way to win these loose balls, these aerial balls now. El Khanous out wide to Fatawu, back to Khanous. And El Khanous now down the wide for Fatawu again. And for Matteo Joseph, who's been here for the longest besides the originals. Engels, Matthias Joseph, Fatawu, he hit it first time and off target. Saka switching the play over to Gabriel Martinelli. Martinelli now down to Zaire Emery, so it was Zaire Emery. And Gavi is part of the midfield alongside Declan Rice. Out wide for Bukayo Saka, and here comes Bukayo. Back to Gavi. Gavi into Zaire. Zaire to Declan. What can Arsenal do here? Yekudis, Declan Rice, Zaire Emery, back to Declan Rice. Out wide for Martinelli. Yes, there it is. Martinelli now down the left-hand side. Can't get past Chekamane. Engels, he goes out wide for Fatawu. And Fatawu against Nuno Mendes. That's a tough battle all day long. Payeta wins the ball. Matthias Joseph out wide for Fatawu. Nuno Mendes is going to quickly catch up, though. Back to El Khanous. El Khanous in for Engels. Engels into Matteo. Back to Khanous. Trying to get it back. Can't do so. And it's back into. Find Matthias Joseph. The shot is blocked and deflected and cleared away. But a great little connection play there for Leicester City. And we're back on the ball. We're back on the attack now. Payeta. Matthias Joseph out wide for Fatawu. Abdul cross in. It's deep for Leo on the volley. Side netting. Did you say we're not creating chances? It's Arsenal who's not creating. I mean, I guess we're not creating chances, to be fair. But we definitely have possession of the ball more than not. And I see that here comes Arsenal now. Zaire Emery on the ball. What can Zaire Emery do? Saka. Back to Zaire Emery. Back over the top. It will fall for O'Brien, who I thought was Dean Hoyson. Cross comes in. The keeper should claim it. Keeper looks a little short there. But you know what? If nobody's going to shoot at him, then it's good enough. It's whatever. Here comes Fatawu. In towards Payeta. Payeta into Fatawu. Fatawu back to Payeta. Payeta into El Kernous, maybe? Yes. And El Kernous can't get past Mosqueda. Two fancy feet work there. We'll see him lose possession of the ball here. Zaire Emery out wide for Bakayo. Bakayo into Gavi. Gavi back to Saka. Saka back to Gavi. Now Declan Rice. Zaire Emery now. What can he do with the ball? He looks to find Gavi and back to Saliba. Play very realistic, just kind of going backwards before going forward. And then when they get forward, it's a back five they're playing against there. Martinelli. Declan Rice. They're taking a sweet old time on this one here. Can we put the pressure on? I thought we could have maybe won the ball right there. We could definitely win it there. We don't. Declan Rice, Zaire Emery, Mendes, Declan Rice, Zaire Emery, over the top for De Bruyne, and Saka will get there first. De Bruyne could have put a head, put something there. He blocks a cross, though, to be fair, and it's the first corner of the game, and it'll be for the Arsenal as our alarm comes on for Yekades. I can only assume. In fact, I think he's like 89 overall now at this point for Victor Yekades, but I'm pretty sure he's a right mid, right winger, so I'm not quite sure on that change, but it is a change nonetheless. We could make changes ourselves. We headed down straight to Zaire Emery, and Zaire Emery takes his sweet old time to take the shot, and we're able to get rid of it now. And El Kernous now. Here's Mateus Joseph up there, but he also takes Fatawu, who finds Leo. Fatawu now. Payeta. 3 minutes left to go before we go to extra time here. Fatawu over the top for El Kernous. Saliba wins it. And that should be that. That's probably us into extra time here against Arsenal. Unless Arsenal win it at the end. I can only assume +1 added minute here because it's been a very boring second half here. And it's looking like we will go to extra time because they're taking a sweet old time on the build-up. 0-0 at the full 90. And we are going to extra time here in Germany. And extra time here against Leicester, not against Leicester, against Arsenal. Madueke coming on for Martinelli as well. We have yet to make a change. We can make changes. We'll kind of give it a play out though. Mateus Joseph. I think that was meant to be a little pass for Fatawu. I don't know if I really don't think that was a shot. I'm going to tell myself it wasn't a shot because if it was a shot, he's coming off the field for somebody we don't have. We actually don't even have a backup striker at all. It is Mateus Joseph. Madueke into Zaire Emery. Back to Madueke. And is he offside? No, he's not offside. Madueke, fresh legs, is able to get past multiple defenders. Saka heads it down. It's Gavi back to Saka. Shot is deflected and out for another corner. And here come Arsenal. They could look in to punish us before we really had a chance against them to play completely. We should, honestly, we should be lifting the trophy by now. We really should be. But here we are, not lifting the trophy and struggling now and hoping to defend a a corner here, in which we do. And I think the threat has been averted. Sauer, De Bruyne, El Kernous. Chekimane, Fatawu into El Kernous. El Kernous into Mateus Joseph. Mateus Joseph, he gets past Saliba, out wide for Fatawu. And Abdul cross block, but he'll get it back in. The cross comes in. Leo Sauer back post, headed away by Jake O'Brien. And Saka will get the loose ball. And 15 minutes left to go here. We could be going to a penalty shootout. Emery deflected. De Bruyne will win it, and De Bruyne trying to get past Al Alarm, can't do so now, out of position. And Fabio Vieira down the right hand side into Gavi. Gavi, El Alarm stopped by Kubarsi. Engels, he finds Bastos, who comes on for El Kernous at Cam. And Leo Sauer now down the left hand side into Kubarsi. Kubarsi, a heavy touch, will get the ball though. Payeta, we play on. Payeta, it's into Bastos, and Bastos into Payeta. Payeta, shoot the ball. Payeta, shoot the ball. He does shoot it, but way too late. I almost jumped in myself there just to shoot the ball. Al Alarm now. It's looking like Arsenal could have the last attack of the day. Maybe not. Here comes Mateus Joseph now, and Mateus Joseph Mateo Joseph. Bastos, what is that ball? That was a horrible ball. Payet will get it back. Look at all the Arsenal players besides the strikers back. Mateo Joseph, Leo Sauer to win it. No, Loera saves it, and we are going to a penalty shootout here for the Champions League final. Leo Sauer nearly won it at the last kick of the game. But a penalty shootout here in Germany, 0-0 after 120 minutes. And it will be Engels up first here for Leicester City. And Engels is able to put his away there. I'm trying to find the best camera angle here. It's Saka. No, it's not Saka. It's Nuno Mendes. Why is Saka not taking the first one? I don't know, but it's saved. And next up here, Abdul Fattah. He finds the back end. I think this could be the best camera angle in all honesty here, because there's not a camera angle right behind the player. Madueke finds the back end, and Arsenal get on board there. Payet, who had a chance to shoot it at the end there to try and win it, didn't do so. Shoots it straight at the keeper, who saves it straight down the middle. Now Al-Alam, who came on late for Victor Gyökeres, hits the post and out. Hits the post and out, and Arsenal are 1 for 2. It's Mateus Joseph, the best player on the field. His is saved. It's 2 for 2 for Leicester. Now a chance for Fabio Vieira to draw a level here for the Arsenal, and he does. It is his sudden death now here. It's Bastos who came on in the last 10 or so minutes here. Straight down the middle. Leicester City take the advantage, and now it's down here to Declan Rice versus Cabazas. If Cabazas saves this, we are Champions League winners. If not, we continue on. Declan Rice is saved by Cabazas, and it's Leicester City, your Champions League winners. Cabazas with 2 saves and a post denying Arsenal. Arsenal fail out on Champions League glory once again. But Leicester City, we complete the rebuild. We win the Champions League final here in Germany. And it will be Robin, a free agent that we just recently brought into the squad here. And he'll be the one to lift that trophy. And we are your Champions League winners. And so that will be the end of the rebuild. A very long but very successful in the end of the rebuild. Back-to-back Premier League champions, and now champions of the European competition, the Champions League, the highest prestige club competition there is. I will see y'all for the next rebuild. Until then, leave a like, subscribe, and peace out.